Beloved light emissaries, we are heading into one of the most intense months of the year. July's frequency is a perfect representation of the year of acceleration that we are all experiencing, in our unique way. This is a year in which the ascending souls have consciously chosen to absorb and utilize these new galactic waves, to speed up our body's crystallization process, something that the energies of July will help us with, as we end June with a powerful earthly full moon in Capricorn, where all starts, and begins July with two potent eclipses between many other frequencies coming from outside our microplanetary system. July is a month, in which we will pass from the loving frequencies of June that soothed us to continue with our integration process and cellular rejuvenation, to regain the subsequent balance required, within and in our relationships, to this new month of July, whose main frequency was about regaining balance, within and in our relationships. For some, this period will be about seeking karmic completion, for as the 9 frequency of July reminds us, there are always many cycles to close, for we all have our own micro cycles to fulfill when we finally integrate the knowledge they brought to us. For others, this new month will be still focus on cellular clearing, as they keep descending more light from their I Am presence. July is a month to release, create change and keep freeing ourselves from what is still enslaving us, for the human mind will always create more limitations and our human ego self will always find a way to convince us of how small and inadequate we are. It is all about continually choosing to empower ourselves and clearing the negative ego instead of falling into its old traps that will lead us into the same old repetitive results. Completion of a cycle. As you are aware, this year is being one of profound physical transformation in our evolutionary path, that even though can be challenging is assisting us to become the love light beings, that we, in essence, truly are. During this intense year we are having many different passages, although all of them equally intense, and little time to rest, after all these galactic waves. However, June provided us with an interval to rejuvenate. In July we are going to be fully immersed within a passage in which clearing old timelines and micro-personal cycles is vital for liberating ourselves of repetitive patterns into our human experience, and conclude a cycle of our human experience. There are many who are having a challenging time, as they continue their process of regeneration and DNA reconnection, for they are repeating many old patterns, not because they are doing anything wrong or because anything from outside is punishing them, but because they need to first clear what once they created and that is still active. To dissolve old worlds/timelines, first we need to understand that every single thought and feeling, if infused enough with intention, creates many timelines or possibilities that are already existing. If we continue infusing with our intention some of those long enough, we will bring them into our present timeline. Therefore, we must begin by removing old memories and old scenarios completely by not feeding them anymore, so they vanish instead of becoming stronger. This inner work should also include DNA reconnection and cellular clearing, for this is where implanted memories also reside. There are many who are now experiencing a total transformation in their lives, for they are repeating, even they do not understand why, what seems old situations and/or patterns in relationships. I understand this can seem as if you were not experiencing evolution in your human path. I also understand that you may feel as if you were not creating properly your reality. However, Try to become the witness of what you are experiencing, and you will realize that this is how evolution occurs, not by continually navigating in the wave, but also experiencing the down periods, for they are the only ones that provide us with the opportunities to overcome and finally heal past traumas and free another aspect of ourselves that were fragmented and living in pain. If you are experiencing something of the above, remember that this does not mean you are not ascending. On the contrary, it means you are ready to release an old pattern, one that can only make you aware of its existence, if it appears, again, in your reality. In the moment we set the conscious intention of evolving, our unified self triggers a series of events, situations, and soul encounters required for us to become aware of what we need to heal and clear before we can hold a higher frequency and begin to descend more light from our I Am presence. When this occurs, it is a blessing in disguise. It is not a sign that you are not evolving but an opportunity your God Self provides you, when you have the strength enough to face this pattern and finally release it. It is only after doing so that true liberation comes and that one can embrace a higher level of consciousness. For even if we experience a challenging time, all is taking us to where we truly desire to be. These are some tools that will help you, if you are in this phase, to become whole, and to bring all the aspects of you that are in pain in your present individualized self, and hence timeline, and heal past wounds and old memories. Soul retrieval. Past life activation. When one has done the previous one and is finally ready to activate/retrieve past gifts from past/parallel selves. Clear genetic records. Clear soul contracts and attachments. Clear negative ego. Polarity integration. These are just some of the many techniques that shall be done when we are in a process of conscious releasing, for there are many who work just with their mental and/or emotional bodies, but do not work with genetic recoding, or vice versa, and the combination of all is essential for the dissolution of these old patterns. Earth's subterranean transmissions. At present, due to Earth's ascension, there are many changes occurring within Earth's fabrics that are affecting us all, not just Gaia, for as you know, even though our planet is a living organism on its own, we all are deeply connected to it, functioning as one. As our beloved Gaia continues embodying its crystalline essence, well as we do it too, it is vital that the ones whose mission is connected to the Earth's grids serve as conduits for the reconnection of the Earth with its crystalline original structure. Many of you, as I am too, are only or more familiar with stellar transmissions, for your connection with your star family is deep and it can be part of your soul contract to bring this cosmic information for all. However, Earth, another beautiful star shining within creation, has also many precious messages to give us, when we are ready to listen. We may once dwell in the stars, but now, in this moment, the only one that exists, we are of the Earth too, and it is here where our cosmic wisdom shall be descended. As I share many times, I also work with subterranean beings, hybrids, and other beings who live underground, Montserrat, Barcelona, Spain, where one of the Earth's crystal resides, who work closely with Arcturians, for they are also being of great assistance to Earth. I have been informed, as many of you who work closely with Earth, that the crystal that resides in the Earth's core is beginning to shift as Earth continues its own ascension process. As a result of this, everything else on Earth is shifting, from the weather to the Earth's temperature, etc., and this is why for many of us are experiencing physical sensations due to our connection with Earth, and our deep sensitivity. This year, and especially this month of July, is going to be very intense, for our bodies are adjusting swiftly to both the cosmic waves received due to our new dimensional space, and from the Earth's new frequency. This is why resting is pivotal to allow our bodies to embody, in their unique ways, these new light and let them heal, as our body cells continue their process of regeneration. When we push our bodies to do more, the body will let us know, in several ways, that it is not ready. Then we must shift our human perception of thinking that rest means doing nothing and remember that the more we do what the body needs, the more we are helping it to evolve, unlike our human self may think. Some of the many physical sensations from this Earth's shift that are common, at this time, are heart palpitations, high/low blood pressure, dizziness, fatigue, spasms in the spine. According to the beings I co-create with, our planet is beginning to open, again, the interdimensional channels that connect Earth with other stellar portals and many dimensions that once served as intergalactic channels for communication. At this time, many whose main mission is to bring back the lost cosmic knowledge will begin to receive more wisdom about other dimensions that have been closed, so to speak, to us for eons. As Earth keeps evolving and embodying its crystalline body, the opportunity for us to connect with it and begin to reawaken our Earth's history memories, is there for all who feel guided to know, from within, instead from outer resources, the true story of our planet, after all the manipulation it suffered, and hence, the lack of information or real one, that were offered to us. During this month in which our bodies are going to experience a profound change, it is essential that we feed our bodies with lightly food, and drink plenty of pure water to allow our body conduits to integrate this new wave and allow the light to fully flow. If we read, but then we keep staying in the familiarity of old habits, then we are not truly bringing this change in the physical, for ascension is not a mental concept but something we descend into the physical, where true change can occur. There are many challenges that, as always, are just opportunities for us to keep choosing the path of divine love and assistance that we came here to walk. Remember to stay in the illumined essence of your God self when these challenges or other people and situations that our human self consider negative or of being of a lower frequency test you, for they are all helping you to regain your power and step out of what is not in resonance with your true soul path. Planetary alignments. We begin July, and end June, for in truth, there are no beginnings or endings, as all is always connected, with an earthly full moon at 6 degrees Capricorn. A moon that introduces the energies of July, and whose conjunction to Saturn retrograde, helps us take responsibility for all we have created or are giving birth to, at this time, and see that the manifestation we do no longer desire to repeat as well as the ones we would like to bring into fruition. From a planetary view, this moon not only affects the materialization of our soul desires, due to Capricorn's Earth Yang, but goes deeper and is helping our planet integrate this light into the Earth body, descending into her core the crystalline frequencies that are bringing this profound transformation within our planet. Currently, grid workers and stabilizers are assisting Gaia to connect with these crystalline frequencies to repair the Earth grids and restore the original connection. From a human perspective, the moon in Capricorn, as many share, in my humble view, is not one to feel guilty and sad just because Saturn is retrograde about the things we have created that were not aligned with our God self. On the contrary, this moon is in a trine with Uranus, the bringer of change, and helps us dissolve those timelines we are not in resonance with and bring the healing, and change, that will help us move on from repetitive old patterns and begin to create what we desire, from an empowered and conscious space. as another confirmation for us to let go of everything that is not serving our higher purpose, until we create the inner space to allow this new light to invade our entire being, is the universal 9 number that July holds. As I always say, we are forever ending/beginning anew within this eternal cosmic spiral, and number 9 is the conclusion, but also the new beginning, that we are experiencing. This is the end of a micro or personal cycle, and with it, the necessary loss that shall come, if we truly desire to expand and reinvent ourselves. In tarot, number 9 is represented by the Hermit, which reminds us to be wise, move inward, and like the Hermit, focus on our inner light truth to walk among the shadows until we reach the new shore, using only our inner light as the only compass to navigate through our current reality, for we need nothing more to be able to discern which way is aligned with our God self and which one does not serve us any longer. And even if the path of solitude is not always easy, it is essential to listen to our inner guidance, before stepping into a new timeline, in which we already have a higher aspect of us dwelling in it. We begin July by having Chiron, the so-called wounded healer, which I prefer to call cosmic healer, turning retrograde on July 5th. As you may already know, I have left the limited view of retrograde periods behind, long ago. For not only is this just an illusion we have from Earth, but when we truly step out of the 3D perspective of how retrogrades affect us or not, it is when we begin to realize that they have never done anything to us. These planets are just evolving as we are too, without interfering in anyone's journey. Chiron's essence is one of going within and looking deeper at the wounds/aspects of ourselves that we try so hard to hide but are still dwelling, in pain, within us. When we consciously desire to align with the frequency of a certain planet, star or asteroid, if well directed, we can connect with the consciousness of this certain stellar body and integrate its healing frequency to assist us in dissolving what is still fragmented and that is not allowing us to experience our true soul path and potential. On July 9th, Venus, our twin planet, the planet of love and abundance, will enter Virgo. Venus in Virgo will remind us that true enlightenment comes when we practice devotion and conscious interaction with all. If we do not spread all the love that we are, if we do not use our precious life force to be compassionate to others and to be of selfless assistance, then we are yet moved by our egoic desires, which is something we all must experience in this human journey. However, our destination, even though there is never a final one, within this eternal spiral of conscious evolution, is to serve all, which has nothing to do with self-sacrifice. The next day, on July 9th, Jupiter, the planet of expansion, turns direct, again. This is a wonderful time for introspection, as Jupiter resides in Scorpio and reflect on our soul desires. A time to expand on our feelings, emotionally, and embrace all of them as equals, remembering that this is where true healing and expansion begins, from loving all of who we are and create the inner synthesis that will help us create a balanced reality. Jupiter in Scorpio reminds us that creation and the subsequent expansion not only occur in the outside but that begins within by knowing and healing ourselves. For the wisdom and worlds we are so eager to search outside are within, and it is pivotal that while we walk in this human plane, where all the importance seems to be on the tangible, we take some time to remember from where all we see emerges. On July 12th, we will welcome the first of the eclipses, a new moon partial solar eclipse at 20 degrees Cancer. This loving eclipse is going to be mainly influenced by the Sun opposite Pluto, which is retrograde. This eclipse will be a catalyst for profound change, for it will provoke an inner call, that some will name as crisis, that will be what will trigger the change that we truly desire to make, but that our lower self is still reticent to put into practice, for it fears change and the freedom that comes from it. As we have on July 16, Uranus semi-sextile Chiron, it will bring us the deep healing we need, during this time of inner transformation, if we are willing to confront what limits us and are open to experience true liberation. The process of self-healing and release never ends, for every time we embody a higher level of consciousness, we must dismiss certain beliefs that are no longer aligned with a higher one, and so on, for our journey towards Source must be combined with the constant release of our old self and its half-truths and limitations. I understand these planetary aspects will be taken by many as chaotic ones. As always, energies simply are, and it is important to see beyond any human labels and illusions the true essence of these planetary forces to be able to embody them without any human interpretation. Herein lies the difference between allowing ourselves to be governed by outer forces or by our own sovereign selves. On July 22nd, the Sun will enter Leo, and on the next day we have Mercury turning retrograde. As you well know, I no longer choose to create in my reality the illusion of Mercury being retrograde, for to be honest, when I totally released this limited belief, all I have been experiencing for years has been expansion and freedom, so in my reality it does not affect me, for I chose to liberate myself of this 3D belief. As I act with integrity, I will not focus on something that for me is a collective created belief, and hence will be real for some, even though it is not at all. With the Sun in Leo, we can embody this fiery essence to empower ourselves and to express our hearts by standing firm in who we are and by expressing our unique divine spark. As always, Leo's essence simply is. This energy by itself is not positive or negative, it is what we decide to do with it. If we direct this frequency properly, we could be courageous and bold in following our own path. On the contrary, an excess of this fiery frequency could lead us into arrogance, which is why balance is the key, as always, to be able to discern for ourselves if we are using these energies for self-empowerment or just for our egoic desires to feel superior. Finally, on July 27th, we have another eclipse, a full moon total lunar eclipse at 4 degrees Aquarius. Aquarius, a fixed sign that even if belongs to the element air, it is represented by the water bearer, as a reminder that he also flows with freedom and adapts to change as water does. Aquarius is ruled by Saturn and Uranus, and it is precisely the combination of these two planets which makes of Aquarius the perfect visionary that he is. The eclipse will also trigger within us everything we have been working on throughout the summer, especially as it occurs in the fixed sign of Aquarius. Are we finally liberated of what used to enslave us? Have we utilized these powerful energies to burn old bridges that connect us with our past? Or are we still attached to an old reality, manifesting the same old situations that impede us in fully being in our power and manifesting what we truly desire? To dissolve what we see in our physical reality that does not resonate with who we are now, first we must go within, from which everything originated, and remove our own limited beliefs as they keep projecting in the outer what is still polarized inside. This full moon penumbral eclipse will help you to break free from everything that keeps you separated from all you wish to experience in your life: abundance, authentic relationships within divine love, and all that your human self is separating. Remember, love includes, not excludes. Love integrates and unifies. Ask yourself if you are becoming the love that you truly are in essence, that heals and sees all things/beings with compassion and equality, of if you are still choosing to resist embracing this truth and breaking free from old human attachments that keep you under the illusion that you can own other people and things, instead of setting them free and welcome new situations and souls that truly are meant to share your path. This is a month for complete surrender. As humans, we are not able to clearly envision what is happening at a deeper level, in our human path. When we face challenges, it is vital to step outside our limited human view of what we think is occurring, for only by doing this can we allow our God Self to take care of the current situation and resolve it, in the best possible way, not just for ourselves but for all. Life is a constant dance between embracing and letting go. We rise only because first we fall and vice versa. There is nothing wrong in the fall phases we experience, for what seems chaotic for the human, may be just a new beginning. When we are about to leave a relationship, we may think we are losing someone and that this is the end. But is it the end or the beginning of personal freedom? Is it the end, or are you aligning with who you truly are, drawing in the new souls that are meant to touch your path, at this time? The same occurs when we lose our jobs. Is it the end or the beginning of what we truly came here to do? For those experiencing attacks from dark forces, I do know how it feels. However, every encounter or situation we still feel as negative, is not telling anything about others, but about ourselves and how we react. Some may feel tired, sad, and not knowing how to manage the situation. Others ask themselves, and what if this is showing me my strength and how to master and protect myself? Your perception makes the difference to see the seed or the chaos, to empower or to diminish yourself. Your strength, where you put your intention and power, will determine what you do in the moments where you are challenged beyond human logic. It is then when you can embrace your true potential and become the sovereign being of your own human experience, rising above limitation, or choose to fall and stay small, allowing others to govern your life. In the end, it does not matter what you choose, for at divine time you will remember your true purpose, why you decided to come to this realm, which is not to serve and self-sacrifice, but to be free and be the love that you are, for all. I wish you all a blessed, loving, and resting July, beloveds. In love and light.